Start. India is a country with a tremendous vitality which it has shown through its history. It has often enough imposed its own cultural pattern on other countries, not by force of arms, but by the strength of its vitality, culture, and civilization. There is no reason why we should give up our way of doing things, our way of considering things simply because of some particular ideology which emanates from Europe. I have no doubt at all that we have to learn a great deal from Europe and America, and I think that we should keep open our eyes and ears and we should be receptive, but I have also no doubt at all that we should not allow ourselves, if I may use the words of Gandhiji, to be swept off our feet by any wind from anywhere. We should approach these problems, whether domestic or international problems, in our own way. If by any chance we align ourselves definitely with one power group, we may perhaps from point of view do some good, but I have not the shadow of a doubt that from a larger point of view, not only of India but of world peace, it will do harm, because then we lose that tremendous vantage ground that we have to using such influence as we possess in the cause of world peace. What are we interested in world affairs for? We seek no domination over any country. We do not wish to interfere in the affairs of any country, domestic or other. Our main stake in world affairs is peace, to see that there is racial equality and that people who are still subjugated should be free. For the rest, we do not desire to interfere in world affairs, and we do not desire that other people should interfere in our affairs. If, however, there is interference, whether it is with this friendly approach that we look at the world. It is not for me to criticize other nations and their policies, but I do not see why India should act in a rigid way or should become a part of the maneuvering that is going on the world. We have to keep aloof from that and at the same time develop the closest relations with all the countries. The supreme question that one has to face today in the world is how we can avoid a world war. Some people seem to think that it is unavoidable and therefore they prepare for it and prepare for it not only in a military sense but in a psychological sense and thereby actually bring the war nearer. Personally, I think that is a very wrong and a very dangerous thing. Of course, no country dares take things for granted and not prepare for possible contingencies. We in India must be prepared for all possible danger to our freedom and our existence. That is so. But to think in terms of the inevitability of world war is a dangerous thinking. I should like this house and the country to appreciate what a world war means, what it is likely to mean. It just does not matter who wins in the world war, because it will mean such utter catastrophe that for a generation or more everything that we should stand for in the way of progress and advancement of humanity will be put an end to. That is a terrible thing to contemplate, and every thinking should be done to avoid this catastrophe. I feel that India can play a big part and perhaps an effective part in helping to avoid war. Therefore, it becomes all the more necessary that India should not be lined up with any group of powers which, for various reasons, are full of fear and war and prepare for war. We are at the present moment on friendly terms with all countries. With our neighbor Pakistan, I think the situation is improving from day to day. It is much better than it was a few months ago. I hope it will improve more. With Afghanistan and Nepal, we are on the friendliest terms. With other countries in Asia and in Europe, our relations are getting closer and closer. Our trade is extending. We should utilize this position, I think, in the United Nations and elsewhere to fulfill the cause of peace, and it is possible that a number of other countries which are not happy at the prospect of war may also support the attitude that India may take up. We have dealt with questions in the United Nations as individual separate questions, for instance, in regard to Korea, in regard to Palestine, in regard to some other matters too. And we have displeased people because have dealt with individual questions and given our opinion on their merits. I would beg the House to look upon the matter from the wider point of view and from the opinion. Stop.